Hey there, it is June 29th, and Alan here. This post is going to be at rvacrossamerica.net/Swan Valley, SWANVALLEY. So, Alan from rvacrossamerica.net, and the Swan Valley is only about 20 or 25 miles away from my winter haunt in Victor, which is, of course, across Teton Pass from Jackson, Wyoming. I have crossed from Wyoming into Idaho. You're watching on the video right now my early morning departure on Sunday morning from Soda Lake. And as you look at the video right now, you see those clouds off in the distance. That's basically the southwest, and that was some real weather moving in. And I was concerned. I was planning on leaving Soda Lake on Monday the 30th, and that was going to give me time at the aquatic center, the PAC, as they call it in Pinedale. I'm starting to feel like a local, even though I'm not. I was going to leave Monday morning, but given what the weather forecast was, they were talking about the better part of an inch of rain on Sunday and perhaps another inch of rain on Monday, which to those of you from Florida and eastern Texas, that may not sound like much, but this is an area that only gets about 8 or 9 or 10 inches of moisture in a year. So this was going to be pretty heavy rain, and those dirt roads out there can easily turn into mud rivers. So with a trailer, I decided it was probably best to bug out early. As you saw in the video a moment ago, it was partly sunny actually at 6:30 in the morning. And I even impressed myself by setting a new record, 33 minutes from jumping out of bed to having the trailer hooked up and pulling away. Um, it's one of those things. Right now, you see me pulling up to the laundry in Pinedale. It's only about 7:15 in the morning, and just jumped to a new view now because there's no point in having you sit there while I did laundry. And as I did laundry, as you can see, the weather moved in, and it started raining. It was raining at a pretty good clip, and the rest of the drive was in pretty solid rain. Pretty solid rain. And what really started to impress me, we're now headed west just outside of Pinedale. This road runs for about an hour or just over and then gets to an area called Hoback Junction, which is actually where I spent the winter before last. I was in an RV park in Hoback Junction. Um, this road starts out at about 7,200 feet. You can see from the clip on the video, we're passing to the west end of Sublette County, and the temperature dropped to 41 degrees. Now, admittedly, we're still over 7,000 feet. There is a bit of a decline when you enter the Hoback Canyon. You drop down to about 6,000 feet. And that's the elevation of Hoback, and that's the elevation of Jackson. So temperatures did come up a little bit when I got into the canyon, but not much. I mean, remember, it's June 27, and temperatures are running in the low 40s and then came up into the mid 40s when I dropped down to 6,000 feet. That impressed me. This is now entering the Hoback Canyon, and you can see the change in the relief. There was a bit of a drop to get here. Not anything that would be earth shattering. It's about a 5 or 6% grade to enter Hoback Canyon. You can see the Hoback River on the right hand side. And again, we're maybe about 20 miles out from this point to a roundabout, or a circle, as we call them in New Jersey, um, where you would either, at the end of this stretch, turn north and go to Jackson. And of course, Jackson is the gateway to Grand Teton National Park and to Yellowstone National Park. Or you would drive south to Alpine, Wyoming, and the Palisades of Idaho, which is where I'm headed. again to Swan Valley. And again, the link on this video is rvacrossamerica.net/Swan Valley. Well, we're driving. At this point, we're into the Snake River Canyon, and because we're south of Hoback, we're past that traffic circle, and we're headed towards Alpine. I stopped at the Yankee Doodle Cafe for an outstanding breakfast. As always, Yankee Doodle is quite the place to have breakfast at. And this Snake River Canyon is really kind of neat for me because in the winter I drive it, and of course the biggest concern is ice. And that reminds me, there were some road warning signs between Sublette County and here that say caution, road may be icy. One of them was set up in a way that you could flip it up and close it, and it was down. But the other two were permanent signs, and I guess it made me think that this is an area that even in the summer you can catch sub-freezing temperatures, and that road can ice up. Well, fortunately, as I'm driving here, it's more like about 45 to 50 degrees. Chilly, but not ridiculous. It's midday. It's overall it was about a 2.5 hour drive thereabouts to get over to Swan Valley, not including the stop in Alpine. So after the stop in Alpine, I turned west and drove past the Palisades. They're coming up in a minute. And when I got to Swan Valley, because the weather was going to be so lousy, I was going to stay at a place called the Blowout Campground. I love the name. Right along the Palisades, right along the water. No advance reservations. The odds are highly in your favor if you pull in on a Monday, even a Monday before a national holiday weekend, which is what's coming up this weekend. And I elected not to go to the Blowout Campground because Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, probably at least part of Wednesday and maybe even into Thursday is going to be more rain and clouds than anything else. So we're now entering Idaho. We're on the stretch westbound along the Palisades. Blowout Campground is when the road goes up a hill and you see the campground on the left. Kind of sort of see it. It's in the woods. And I decided, nope, that's not going to work. So I am at a place called Sleepy Bear Campground. And Sleepy Bear Campground is right about in the center of Swan Valley, which isn't much. It's a town of 200. There's no grocery store. There is a diner. There's a steakhouse. There's the campground. And there's an Exxon station. And the gas is not bad. In fact, there's a little bit of a mystery to me. The diesel right now is $2.11 a gallon, and it's about 20 cents per gallon less than regular. So who knows? But anyway, from here, and you'll see a couple of photos I put in the post. Again, the post is at rvcrossamerica.net/Swan Valley. Today was showery and chilly. Today's Monday, the 29th. And I'm looking out the window right now. It's nearly sundown, maybe an hour away from sundown. And the hills just off to the north, towards Victor. And actually, I'm going to be headed that way tomorrow morning. And I'm going to cross over Teton Pass. And with the weather as it is, I'm looking out the window right now, and I see snow on the hills, probably accumulating at about, well, I'm at 5,300, so it's probably at about 7,000 feet, which is just over the elevation of Victor. It's like the weather hasn't changed much since I left here in mid-April. It was kind of dreary and chilly in April, and it's dreary and chilly here at the end of June. And still really green. Really green. Really amazing when you think about it. Again, it does not look like Wyoming. And I'm sitting here looking out the window, just digging the sun down. As the sun gets lower, the sunlight is up on the upper hills. And again, the upper hills, 7,000, maybe 7,500 feet, have snow cover. And I suspect tomorrow morning when I drive up and over Teton Pass, there could very well be snow on the ground. I'm almost a little concerned about snow on the road. And snow on the road at the end of June is probably worse than in January because you're dealing with summertime tourists in this area that are coming in and have no idea of how to handle a mountain pass with 10% grades that might have a little bit of snow accumulating on the road. So the weather could be a little sketchy, be it as it may, it'll be whatever it is. I am heading over there early in the morning, and I'll be in Jackson all day. So I just wanted to share that with you and let you have a quick look at where I am and what I'm doing right now. Hey, thanks for listening.